and books, let us jump into TV. We'll ask Musa Gurnis to join us. Let's see if I can find Musa in our guest list. I don't see Musa. Musa, oh, here you are. Okay. And anyone, if you have your feedback, hello, Musa.
Hi, can you see me?
Yeah, I can see you just fine. How about you?
I've never used Instagram before, so
Okay, all right. It's okay. It's okay.
I'm happy to be. Thank you for asking me. I'm happy to be here.
Sure. I'm happy to. I've known Eric Tucker of Bedlam for a while now, and I had a chat with him a few months back. At the time, this was kind of in the height of the COVID era. They were doing their Do More reading series, I believe it was called. I think that's what it was, right? The Do More reading series, and they were doing, like, every couple of weeks they were doing a stage reading of Shakespeare of some sort, and they had a variety of other things that they were working on since then. But now the new big thing is Bedlam TV.
Yeah, this is what we were cooking during the pandemic.
Okay. All right. So Bedlam TV is the new TV series from Bedlam. It is now available on streaming. And I think it's 3 episodes are available right now?
3 episodes are out, yeah.
3 episodes are out. And you are the writer of this series.
Co-writer, yeah.
Co-writer of it. You and Eric co-wrote the series together. The co-writers of the series. And you also appear in the series as Regan, right?
Yeah, I play Regan.
Okay. All right. So for those who don't know, I'm going to give you a quick summary of what the show is about. Then we'll kind of divert away from it.
Bless you.
So Musa and Eric Tucker of Bedlam, they put together this Bedlam TV series, and it's basically like you take the world of King Lear and you transpose it into some, kind of like a wacky contemporary reality where King Lear is now Linda Lear, and I think she's having to abdicate her kingdom because she's dying of cancer, right?
Right. I mean, really what we've done is we've taken characters and plots from King Lear and the Merry Wives of Windsor and mashed them together and let the story change. So we wrote an 8-episode kind of HBO-style series. And so really, like, Eric had been dreaming this up for about a year before he brought me in.
Mm-hmm.
And then he got in touch like in April, the beginning of April of the pandemic, and he said, let's make this baggy monster. So we kind of, it was a bit like he was Frankenstein and I was Igor. So he figured out which characters to fold together and how to combine the plot. So essentially like the sort of, for the Merry Wives characters, like for the husbands, the Lear plot is like their work life, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like they're Kent and Gloucester for Lear. And then
Mm-hmm.
at home, you see their problems with their wives unfolding. Or we've doubled the characters of Alanza Fear plays our combo Falstaff Fool character, right? Who's Linda's brother, who's Lear's
Mm-hmm.
brother, who's this sort of waster. But they double in good ways. So Falstaff's like dirty crew is, Lear's like partying nights, And some of the ways that we folded things together create inconsistencies. So like, Falstaff is really out for himself and the fool is the one who stays by Lear through everything. And in this, like, so these are ways that are, in some way that's like very unfaithful. But really like a lot of what we were trying to do is not to be like faithful to the letter of Shakespeare, but to be faithful to Shakespeare's dramaturgy. So like one of the really distinctive things about his writing is that he creates characters that don't make sense, that behave in contradictory ways, which makes them more like actual human beings. So
right.
those jagged parts of folding the stories and characters together, we think became productive in good ways. And our Linda, this is the extraordinary Zuzanna Shatkovsky.
Mm-hmm.
Plays Linda Lear, and this came out of a stage production that Bedlam was doing in, like outside Philadelphia, before the pandemic hit.
Mm-hmm.
And it was this version that just did Lear. It was only the Lear scenes, kind of from Lear's perspective.
Mm-hmm.
And Susanna was playing Lear, and her version of the character in rehearsal was this kind of like chain smoking, like she got this sort of big fuzzy coat and a handbag and a Diet Coke and a cigarette, and it was like that's your narcissistic mom, So she, out of that creation, Linda Lear, we sort of extrapolated like the world that she belongs in. This like
Hmm.
grimy, like working small crime city that also the Merry Wives characters could fit in. Eric always said he thought that the Merry Wives story was like a Coen Brothers movie, right? That it felt like a grimy, kind of like nasty small town crime thing.
Now that you say that,
Okay,
it
so
definitely does have that
we had to
feel.
dirty up the Merry Wives plot to make it fit with the tragedy of Lear a little bit. But we're trying to dirty up. We're trying to take the museum of Shakespeare anyway.
Well, you definitely dirtied it up. It's it definitely it doesn't have that. It's not, like glossy. It's definitely you got that feel to it. Now, before we go any further, Musa, you have some love coming at you from the audience. Someone named Amanda says, "I love you, Musa." She said, "You're very smart and cool," and I have to agree. Now, Musa, just to step back for a second. I was reading your bio, and you are a doctor. You're a doctor, Musa. You are a PhD from Columbia University, right?
Yeah, I'm a form. Oh, I'm still an English professor. I adjunct to Peru, but I used to teach at a research university. I've kind of crossed over to the dark side and taken my skills with me. Eric needed someone who could like pull text from the whole canon really easily.
Hmm.
So he would sort of, we joke that we're working like Frankenstein and Igor. He would kind of like design the shape of the episode and put in the big scenes, and then he would say, okay, we need a conversation where they're talking about this, like find language for it. And I
Hmm.
pulled from, I think, in the whole 8 episodes, I think 14 plays and 12 poems or something like that.
Really?
And just, it's a pastiche. So the whole, and really they become new scenes. And in a way, this was easy to do because, like, there are a lot of theatergrams in Shakespeare. There are a lot of scenes that are sort of speaking back to each other, replaying a variation of a scenario, something like that. So, so the text as we wrote it is like we didn't make up any. You know how TV shows do? They sort of like make that fake classical writing or whatever, like
Right.
Game of Thrones, say, or whatever. We
Right.
didn't. We really intentionally didn't. That was cheating, right? Like the whole script as we gave it to the actors was Shakespeare, except for a few things that were like wildly modern. Like I had her, I had a Cordeal, Caden Kearney quote. I had them quote the Heathers, "Fuck me gently with a chainsaw" when they're sexting. Which is so obviously anachronistic, right? It's not like
Hmm.
we're softening. But then what the actors, because we had that in place, then what the actors were able to do was on set just, and this is something we're really proud of in the series, that the actors really dip in and out of, they ad lib all around the Shakespeare in modern English. But also the delivery is the delivery of the Shakespeare is so modern that
Yeah.
really, it kind of hooks your ear in, so you're listening, and then you're a few lines into iambic pentameter before you realize they're not just telling each other to fuck off in the parking lot anymore.
Well, yeah, and it's really it's very visually distinct. It's like it's you don't when you start watching. I think I'm halfway through the first episode, and it's like you've entered this whole different kind of world. There's no sense from the beginning that, oh, I'm watching Shakespeare. It's just modern dress Shakespeare. It's none of that whatsoever. It's a very specific, as you say, grimy kind of Coen-esque kind of world. And then once and there's a little bit of patter beforehand that's just very contemporary dialogue. Then all of a sudden it weaves in the Shakespeare text, and it's a very smooth transition from the one to the other.
There are some parts that are Shakespeare, and I think people listening will think that, like, the part where Shallow's in the bar doing the thing with the guns, and that's all text, and it just sounds like modern ad lib.
Wow. So,
But yeah, the visuals we're really proud of. Our DP is Derek Aspenberg, and we wanted something kind of like, I don't know, look like Caravaggio in a parking lot, sort of David Lynchy, or parts of it to look like Euphoria or The Sopranos or something like that, to have a kind of a decadent feel, like a louche feel. It's a seedy world, but there's a lot of like rich light. Um, yeah.
so you shot all 8 episodes. It's all in the can. It's all ready to go.
No, no, we shot what we had written as the first 2 episodes, but then in editing, there were other kinds of structure in the thing that we shot, and we wanted to keep some of the actors ad lib, so we cut the 2 that we had written into 3. So
Hmm.
that's what's available now, and we're hoping people like it enough that we can
that you can
sell
expand.
them and film the rest.
How long did this whole thing take you to put together?
We wrote from April to September, I think, and then shot in October for about a
Oh,
month.
wow.
We
Wow,
employed
wow,
about
wow.
30 amazing off-Broadway classical actors during the pandemic.
Yeah, I saw a lot of familiar faces in there. A lot of guys that I've known from the Shakespeare world, in stage guys that I hadn't seen doing film or TV work before. But it's a very smooth transition from what I've seen before into what they're doing here. So, in regard to COVID safety, is it very difficult to have this kind of shoot where everyone's kind of on top of
I
each
mean,
other and
yeah,
there's a lot of things going on?
it was, I mean, it was hard. Obviously we abided very strictly by the SAG-AFTRA guidelines. Everyone
Hmm.
took this very seriously. We had one, at the very end of shooting, we had one positive, one cast member. And actually some of their scenes where Falstaff is knocking on, hey, Nim, get out of the bathroom. And we're just trying to hide the fact that there should be 3 actors in the scene, not 2. Because Nim was out with COVID, but we had to shut down for a number of days. We bled money. Everyone just holed up in their hotel, and we just all were tested. And thankfully, it was just that one case. But we were really, we were strict on set, and but everyone was dying to work. We all wanted to be there, and we looked after each other. It was good. It was exciting. The first Zoom read was exciting. You could watch them. I mean, I'm such a newbie actor.
Hmm.
So for me, it was obviously impressive, but you could see all of them getting excited. Like everyone would sort of do their scene, and you could see the group get excited watching each other. It was fun.
Well, that's kind of what I was going
One
to say.
thing
Is that
I have to
go
plug
ahead?
is one thing.
Go ahead.
Our soundtrack. So I'm tone deaf, and one idea that I had writing it was to have different sonnets sung in different styles. So we have like
Hmm.
there's a scene at an open mic where a character does a sonnet, "Being Your Slave," in the style of a Joy Division song. So we have a number of these. Like one's a country song, one's a kind of like Beastie Boys song, and we got the artist Amon who did our soundtrack to create these like in-world, like kind of pop sonnet soundtrack.
The soundtrack is very
It's
evocative.
cool. They're
Yeah,
all
I
really
don't.
good songs. Genuinely, like go check them out. Amon.
Yeah, no, I'm hooked. I had to run because I was in the middle of something. I had to get to the next thing, but I was like, I really want to watch the rest. This is really exciting stuff. And just in terms of being a company that's primarily a theater company, and yeah, we all had to move into the Zoom format during the COVID era, but this seems like a really nice step to the next level beyond that to take what you do, what Bedlam is so good at, of taking these texts and reshaping them and putting their own unique spin on them and taking it to the next level of TV.
Yeah, I mean, Eric is an endlessly inventive theater director, and he, I mean, um, the way he was able to translate that flexibility into film, um, it was exciting to watch. It was
All
exciting
right,
to
all
work with
right.
him. That man is endlessly inventive. And really,
Oh,
we'd hit roadblocks in the story all the time, and it could always be something else, you know.
and you seem like you have no shortage of creativity and pathways into these things yourself, combining so many different texts, and it's all very exciting stuff. All right, Musa. Well, listen, I thank you very much for joining us here tonight. I wish you all the best with Bedlam TV. If people that are watching here tonight or watching the replay want to catch Bedlam TV, where can they go?
To Bedlam TV. It's
Okay.
attached to the theater's website.
Okay, so that's bedlam.com, right? Bedlam.org? Bedlam.org, I
Excuse
believe.
me. Bedlam, Bedlam Theater and Bedlam TV or Bedlam the series, easy to find.
Okay, all right. And we'll also have the links in the post-show wrap-up with all the groups that are referenced, and you can find it there. So Musa, I thank you very much. Congratulations on Bedlam TV. I can't wait to see the rest of it, and we hope that there's going to be more.
Thanks.
All right. That was Musa Gurnis of the Bedlam Theater Company, and they are out with Bedlam TV. It's a 3-episode series for now, streaming, and it's really just Great, great stuff. Very exciting. Bedlam.org. Thank you, Laura.